Okay guys, in today's video, we're gonna be playing NPC or Die.
At home, Olivia took delight in comparing herself to me. Richard could have had anyone, she said one evening, tossing her golden hair.
Hey guys, I'm a criminal.
And yet he married you. I suppose he enjoys charity work. Richard was there. His eyes on his phone, lips curled in a half smile. Olivia, he muttered without looking up. Don't be cruel.
How do I turn on shift lock?
Amused even. He didn't stop her. He never truly stopped them. I carried myself quietly, never retaliating, never revealing the truth about who I was or what I possessed. They thought me powerless, a poor orphan with nothing to offer but soft words and hopeful eyes. And I let them believe it. My grandmother's voice echoed in my mind. Guard your trust. Trust was not something I could give to people who laughed at me while calling themselves family. When I fell pregnant, I thought perhaps this would change. A baby, I believed, would soften their sharp edges, bring joy into the cold halls of the Carter home. For a while, Margaret seemed almost civil. She fussed about the nursery, though every comment still came with a sting. At least the child will have Carter blood, she said, patting my arm as if I were a vessel rather than a mother. During those months, I lived in a strange balance of hope and humiliation. Hope that motherhood would anchor me more firmly in Richard's heart. Humiliation that every day I still faced sly remarks about my humble roots. I hid my inheritance documents in a locked case beneath our bed. The figure's too vast to comprehend at times. $700 million. The weight of it pressed against my silence. But I said nothing. The Carters often hosted parties.
We won. You. Yeah. Let me see shop.
I could feel her eyes flick toward me now and then, smug, as though daring me to compete. Richard drank, laughed, and blended into the noise. Once, after one of these evenings, I asked him gently, "Do you ever wonder why your family treats me this way?" He shrugged, tugging off his tie. "You're too sensitive, Sophie. They're just joking. You need to lighten up." His words stung more than Olivia's cruelest remark.
I say 6, 7.
When I lay awake at night with tears slipping down my cheeks, I learned to hide my emotions.
Oh, we're in the march. I'm a criminal.
No one could see. I carried myself with grace, wore simple dresses, cooked meals they never complimented, and kept my silence. Each day was survival, and each night I whispered to the child growing inside me, promising her that she would know love even if the world gave us none. Richard's indifference grew clearer as my pregnancy progressed. He rarely touched my stomach, rarely asked how I felt. Margaret commented often, "I do hope it's a boy. A boy will solidify your place, Sophie. A girl." She trailed off with a shake of her head. Olivia smirked each time, as though daring fate to grant me only disappointment in their eyes. I prayed quietly that love would overcome prejudice, that one day they might look at me and see more than a poor girl from nowhere. But deep down, I knew I was waiting for a miracle that might never come. The laughter, the insults, the disdain, it all became the fabric of my daily life. Still I endured, not because I was weak, but because I carried the secret of my grandmother's empire in my heart. If patience was my shield, dignity was my sword, I reminded myself that storms pass, and sometimes the best revenge is silence. The night before I went into labor, I lay awake, holding Richard's hand. He was already asleep, his face calm, untouched by the weight of my loneliness. I pressed
If he shot me just now.
and whispered to my unborn child, "You and I, Grace, whatever comes, we'll face it together." I didn't know then how soon.
Bro, why do they never have shift lock on?
Contractions began just before dawn. At first, they came in waves of discomfort I tried to ignore, but soon the pain clenched so tightly I couldn't breathe without wincing. I woke Richard, his face annoyed at being disturbed from his sleep. "It's time," I whispered, clutching my He groaned, sat up, and muttered something about how inconvenient it was. Still, he drove me to the hospital, though the silence in the car pressed heavier than the contractions. Labor was long, nearly 14 hours of sweat and tears, and prayers whispered into the sterile air. I begged Richard to hold my hand, but he lingered by the door, scrolling through his phone as though my pain was background noise. At one point I cried out, "Please, Richard, just be here with me." He rolled his eyes and muttered, "You'll be fine. Women do this every day." The words pierced deeper than any contraction. When at last I heard my baby's
Hey, can I finish?
my heart flooded with joy. The nurse placed her in my arms, a tiny bundle with soft cheeks and the faintest tuft of brown hair. "It's a girl," she said.
You guys know?
Tears spilled down
I just
my
shoot the
cheeks
first
as I
people.
responded, "Grace." In that moment, all the loneliness of my marriage.
Okay, guys, that's the end of the video. See you guys later. Bye.
But joy in